to the FtblCameron podcast. Today I'm joined by Dave, and we're going to be going through some transfer news recently, news surrounding Spurs, the team that we support, and I'll be asking some questions I got from the tweet. So you're right, Dave?
Yeah, good. I mean, Spurs doing quite well in their transfers, so that's helping out.
Yeah. So, obviously, I'm going to start off with the biggest news surrounding Spurs, Tanguy and Ndombele signing. What are your thoughts on us signing him?
I think it's a game changer, really, because having Dembele before and the progression he would give us from in the midfield, everyone's main problem we had was that he was injury prone and he's old. And now we've got someone who's fit and healthy and is like 10 years younger. So it's ideal, really.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was thinking. And he offers something different to our midfield. Obviously you got Sissoko, who's great at running with the ball and beating players, but Ndombele's the person that's going to win you that ball, help you advance with it, and he also looks like someone that can play a really good pass forward. So I think he's a very important signing for us.
Yeah, sure.
Who would you like us to sign? Like any other player, you could have one player. Who would it be for us to sign?
I still think we need to strengthen at right back, so I think Max Aarons would be ideal just because he fulfills that homegrown quota. He's a young guy and he's good going forward and defensively, and there aren't that many fullbacks who will actually fit that quota. So him, really.
Yeah, I think a right back as well, because obviously Trippier's not great. He's probably his worst season last season.
Yeah, sure.
But I was like thinking the other day, literally there's not many right backs on like the market. Obviously you've got Alexander Arnold, but he'll be too expensive, and I don't think he'll ever leave Liverpool for a while at least. And then people like Wan-Bissaka who've obviously gone to Man United. I see a lot of Spurs fans saying they want Atal, I think it's pronounced, but I've never seen him play, so I can't comment on that. So yeah, if I had to sign someone, it'd probably be Max Aarons as well. Obviously he's a solid right back from what I've seen. But yeah, Harrison, got a question from Harrison. He says, do you think next season, so after this season, Jack Clarke what impact will Jack Clarke have?
I don't think he's going to be. Well, he's going to be a squad player, but he's not going to be a main part of it. I think he's just going to be used in the same way that kind of Oliver Skip has been over this year, just feature in a couple games, show what he can do, and then just get slowly put into the squad more and more, but not too much of an impact for next season, or the season he starts anyway.
Yeah, I think obviously Poch is good with young players, so I think he will get minutes when he comes back. See players develop on the Poch. I think within like 3 years he could possibly be starting for us. But I can't really say whether I think he'll be good in the future, because I've never really seen him play. I've seen clips of him, but you can't really go off that. So I think Jack Clarke will probably not have much of an impact next season, but he could be a good player to come off the bench, because I know he's got quite a bit of pace, and he can finish. So I think Jack Clarke is a good signing, but I don't think he'll have much of an impact for the next couple of years at least. So I got a thing here about Ayoze Perez signing for Leicester for 30 million. It's a lot of money, but I don't know, because he's a goal scorer, but it's just today's market. 30 million, is it a lot, or is it like not much for someone like Ayoze Perez, in like your opinion?
I think that's a good price for him. It's not a bargain, but I think that's about right for what he's worth. I mean, given a system like Leicester's rather than Newcastle, he's going to produce. He's going to get double digits in goals. He'll chip in with a few assists as well. And he's got that positional versatility as well. It opens up a lot more options for him. So I think it's a good signing.
Yeah, I don't know about the 30 million. As you say, it's probably a good price, because someone, obviously with Vardy, what is he, like 33 now, 32?
Yeah, he's old.
Yeah, he can. Vardy's probably not going to be able to play every game now because of his age. So someone like Perez, he can come in next to Vardy, and when Vardy, if he's feeling tired, Perez can come in and be the main guy for Leicester, and he could possibly be Vardy's replacement for like next season, if Vardy goes or retires or something like that. So I think it's a good signing for Leicester, but I'm unsure on the price. I don't know whether it's a lot or a little for someone like Jose Perez. Um, but yeah, that's one of the biggest transfers this week. I don't know if you've heard about Mourinho turning down 100 million a week. No, sorry, not a week, a year or something. Or his contract was worth 100 million. It was the biggest offer for a football manager.
What was that?
That was yesterday, I think. That I don't know how to pronounce it, but that Guangzhou Evergrande, I think, is
Oh, right, yeah, the
pronounced.
Chinese side.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they offered him 100 million, like I think 5-year contract, and he would be the best paid manager ever. But he turned it down, so that's fair play to Mourinho.
yeah, definitely.
Um, but someone like Rafa Benitez, who's gone out to China, I think he's wasted out there because
Oh, absolutely.
someone like Benitez is in the Premier League. You know, he could probably manage every team in the Premier League. I'd say like any team would happily
Definitely.
take Benitez if you didn't have obviously someone like Pochettino at Spurs, Klopp at Liverpool. Benitez, I think. I don't know if he's gone for the money or whether he's just gone for a Chinese career, but I'd probably say the money. But what are your like thoughts as people going to like China or like all to Saudi Arabian leagues and stuff like that for the money?
Unless you're at the end of your career, it is kind of a waste of your talent. Like someone like Carrasco, who was at Atletico for so many years and was kind of building up this profile as quite a good player, and he's gone there and he's kind of become unheard of. Really, like he doesn't pop up in the news anymore, and it just seems like a graveyard for talent, basically. But they'll pay you well. So if that's an important thing to you, then great. But I don't know. I don't really like it, to be honest.
Yeah, the person that pops into my mind is Oscar because I think he was 24 when he went there, and he was at Chelsea. He looked like he could be someone that could be like a good player on his day, and
Yeah,
I think he went for like 70 million or something. But he even said in the interview that he went there for his family and not his career, which is sort of like sad to see that in like professional football because you want your players playing for you and not for the money. And
yeah,
I
definitely.
think the Chinese clubs are sort of like not ruining football, but like they they could stop a future like potential like star career for someone like Carrasco or for someone like Oscar. Um, but yeah, I think the Chinese clubs, people like Benitez going there, I think it's a bad idea for them. But obviously they get paid well, so at the end of the day, if they're looking to set their family for life, they probably have enough money to do that anyway. But going out to China will just obviously boost your finance by a lot. Um, Ruben wants to know, who do you think we will have to sign to challenge for the league next season?
Ooh, fuck. Um, well, I don't think we're short of ability to do it, and like the depth it needs to get better. So, like a backup centre forward if Llorente leaves, and another winger. But I don't think we're far off in terms of ability, but it needs to be staying healthy and then staying consistent, and we can challenge.
Well, yeah, obviously we won the game against City in the Champions League, but as soon as I think Winks was out, we had to put someone like Wanyama in who was like hadn't played before that a regular set of games. So I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
signing in Ndombele is good because he adds that depth to our midfield. Obviously he'll be starting, but one of the midfielders will go out hopefully, which will add depth instead of having to put in someone like Dyer Wanyama who aren't fully fit and probably not good enough if we're trying to win the league.
Yeah,
Um,
probably ruthless.
yeah. I think we need to sign a right back, as we was mentioning earlier, because Trippier is just not good enough. If we want to, as I said earlier, win things, because he's not great defending and he's not great going forward. He can put in a good cross sometimes, but I'm pretty sure it's like he hasn't actually. We haven't scored from a cross from him in like over a year or something now. So
Yeah, he's really pulling off.
yeah. And then I don't. I think we should probably sign another midfielder. So like the guy we're getting linked with, I don't know how to say it. Is it Celebos or Ceballos?
Ceballos, I think.
Ceballos. Yeah, I
He's
think we
a
should
Madrid
definitely
guy.
go for him. Yeah, we should definitely go for him because he's a solid midfielder from what I've seen in like these clips from him in the Euros. And if we can't get him, then Lo Celso would be the dream. But I think we're only getting one of Ceballos, whatever it is, or Lo Celso. But yeah, that's what I think we have to do if you want to challenge the league. Ike says, who do you, if you could only sign one player, who would, alright, we said that already, haven't we? You said Max Aarons, I said it right away, didn't I? So yeah, going back to transfer news, Yuri Tillemans to Leicester is apparently happening today. I think that's someone that Tottenham should have been all over. 40 million is not a lot in today's market. What do you think about Tillemans? Would you have him at like Spurs?
Yeah, I'd definitely have him, but I think that signing him for 40 million and Ndombele comparatively for 60 is a fucking bargain, because he's a lot better and he's younger. And yeah, Tillemans has shown what he can do in England, but I don't think he's worth that price if Ndombele is only going to be costing around 60. And you don't want to get the midfield too cluttered up either with able players. So I know you want depth, but you don't want to overcrowd it either. So yes, he's a good player, but given that we've got Ndombele, I don't think we would have gone for both. So I'm happy with what we've done on that, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I think 40 million in today's market is not a lot for Tillemans, though.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think a bigger club should have probably gone in for him. Someone like Man United. I think
I'd have expected that.
Yeah, he'd be good at Man United because they got like in that midfield role they're attacking. You got Lingard, who's not great. I can't really think of their midfielders United that attacking wise that are actually any good. Mata, he's about 32 now. I don't think their fans like him that much. So I think Tillemans is someone that a big club like United should have been all over. But I think Tillemans will be a success at Leicester. But he's someone I can see maybe going to Leicester for a year or two and then going to a bigger club. Because I think his potential is too good to be playing at Leicester for like 5-6 years of his career. But yeah, away from the transfer side of things, the Premier League next season, who do you think is going to win the league? Who do you think will go down? And where do you think Tottenham will finish? So I'll say first. Yeah, I think it's hard with the league, but I think Man City will win it again this season just because they need to replace Fernandinho, who's 34 now and getting a lot of injuries, and they've done that, signing Rodri, who looks like a class player whenever I've seen him play. So I think they are improving what is already like a great team. Whereas Liverpool, I don't see them getting linked with anyone other than Pepe, and I don't think he's any better than what they've got. So Liverpool aren't really strengthening as Man City have. So yeah, I'll go with Man City to win the league. I think Tottenham will finish third. I can see Liverpool and Man City sort of being the two powerhouses of the league again. But I think Tottenham will finish third this season above Chelsea and Arsenal, because Chelsea with their transfer ban, they haven't got a great squad now and they can't improve on it. I think Lampard said people like Drinkwater and Abraham are going to be getting chances, which if you're going to win the league or if you're going for like that top 2 or 3 spaces, they're not good enough for you, people like that. And then Arsenal are just Arsenal, like they're awful. Their team, yeah, they got Aubameyang who's alright and Lacazette who's alright, but their midfield is a shambles, and their defence is awful. And they're getting someone like Saliba, I don't know how to say it, who's I think really high rated, and then loaning him back. I don't see the point in that. But yeah, so I think Tottenham will finish third above Arsenal and Chelsea and Man U. I think Man U are actually doing the right thing by signing young players. People like Longstaff they're getting linked with. They signed Dan James, and I think they're going the right way about their business, signing young players that they can improve. And if they're not good enough, they're not going to make a loss on them because they've signed them for quite cheap. I'm pretty sure people like James. Yeah, so that's who I think will finish where Tottenham will finish. And then who's going to go down? I can see Sheffield United going down. Mainly because of their squad, unless they improve. But I don't think they have got loads of money. So they're who I finish. That's who I reckon will finish bottom. then the bottom two with them is quite difficult. I think Norwich will stay up at the two promoted teams and Aston Villa. I can see Brighton going down. They only survived it last season and they haven't got a great squad in all honesty. And it's the third team. I'm just gonna, I don't know, I'm just gonna go out there and say someone a bit of a shock. Watford. I think, I don't know. I think they didn't do great last season. They did. I can't remember actually last season. Did they come? Where did they come? Like 12?
Bottom half, but not like towards the end. So I think that's
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll just go for someone like Watford because I can't think off the top of my head any of the other teams that aren't that great. So yeah. Who do you think out of those three predictions will happen?
the ones going down, I think there's two of the three promoted teams are going to go down. So Sheffield are probably going down, and then out of Villa and Norwich, I'd say Villa are more likely to go down, but Norwich still haven't got a Premier League quality side. Like even with signing the keeper they got online the other day, he kind of had a bad season last season, so he's fallen off from the level that he was at. So that's not great for them, and it's still not the side you need to be surviving in the Premier League. But equally, teams like Brighton don't have those quality players, so it's just kind of a lottery for those kind of four to see which three are going down, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point. So who do you think will win the league?
It's got to be City again. I think if they get a centre back, it's a wrap because once they've got depth there, it's done for. But the rest of their squad there's such depth in that midfield and attack. They've got so many options they can change things up. Whereas Liverpool, yes, that initial 11 is amazing, but in their depth of the bench, they've got like 2-3 players that can make an impact. Whereas City have got 4 or 5. So yeah, and then I think those two it will be between those two again, but it's not going to be run away by like 20 points, just those two, but it's still going to be distinctly them. And Spurs probably third.
Yeah, I think that's what most people would say about Spurs, like Spurs fans included. Right, so the next question I want to ask you and me is, out of the current players we got, like not including players that we might sign, what would your starting 11 be if you had to for the first game of the season against Villa? What would your starting 11 be right now?
It'd be Lloris in goal. The right back, you've got to go with Aurier. The left back would be Danny Rose. The centre halves being Toby and Jan. Midfield, have a double pivot of Winks and Ndombele. Then the wingers being Lucas and Son, Ericsson as a 10, and then Kane up top. Leave Dell on the bench, I think.
Yeah. For me, I would go Lloris. I pretty much agree with you. I'd go for Lloris. Right back, I'd go Aurier or Foyth because I think Aurier tore his hamstring for Ivory Coast.
Oh,
but
shit.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. So if he's not fit,
I heard about that.
Yeah. So if he did, I'd have Foyth there because I just think he's much better than Trippier whenever he plays there. Centre backs, Alderweireld and Vertonghen. Left back, Danny Rose. Hopefully he's still there.
Definitely can't sell him.
Yeah, I don't think Danny Rose should go. I think he's one of the players in our team that are always going to give passion for us and always try their hardest. And I think he's someone that could be our captain instead of like Lloris.
Yeah, he's got a proper club identity for sure.
Yeah. And then my midfield would be a midfield three of Winks, Sissoko and Ndombele. Ndombele sort of sitting behind those two. Or actually, maybe I'd have, I don't know, all three of them can sort of sit behind, like one sit behind the other two. So I'm not sure who I'd have there. And then my front three would be Son, Kane, and probably Dele Alli. Because I don't think Ericsson will be there. And if he is, I can see someone like Juventus coming in for him, or someone like, hopefully not. I don't think United will come in for him, but I think someone like Juventus possibly could come in for him, or maybe Real Madrid, because I know they said that they don't want him or something, but they could just be saying list to sort of try and lower the price.
True.
So I'd probably have Dele Alli there, but I also do like Lucas. So it would either be Lucas or Dele. But I'd have to go Son, Kane, and Dele's my front three. So yeah, that would be my team starting for next season. The last question I want to ask you is out of the, I don't know if you've seen yesterday, the 8 players that Pochettino wants to list, or sorry, the 8 players Pochettino has listed. I'm just going to get them up. Sorry?
Yeah, the ones he wants to sell, innit?
Yeah, the one he's apparently put on the market. Out of those 8 players, who should we keep and who should we sell? So I'm just getting it up here as we talk. So the 8 players are Marcus Edwards, Vincent Janssen, Danny Rose, Wanyama, Aurier, Trippier. I can't find the other 2.
That's all right.
So let's go through that. So Danny Rose, keep or sell?
Oh, you've got to keep Rose. He's the best option we've got at left back. I do like Davies for depth, but Rose is the best option we've got. He's definitely identifies with the club and the fans, and he's just someone we need to keep, really.
Yeah, I would keep Rose as well. As I mentioned earlier, I think he's one of the only players at the club that, well, not one of the only players at the club, but one of the players at the club that you know are always going to give you 100% in that starting 11. Next player, Wanyama, keep or sell?
As much as I do like him, he's probably not going to recapture that form that he had a couple of years ago. So I think we've got to sell him at this point. If we're being realistic about who we need to have in the squad and who we don't need to have in order to challenge for the title, he's someone that's got to go, I think.
Yeah, I would sell Wanyama, as we could probably get a bit of money for him, because I don't think what is he, about 27, 28? He's not near 30 yet, is he?
Yeah, no, he's at 26, 27, I think.
Yeah, so that would be someone I would sell because we could get a bit of money for him. And I like Wanyama, but I think his knees have sort of gone a bit, and he's not really been great since his first season. Like someone that's been consistent in that midfield for us, that is playing week in, week out with quality. And then out of those, next one, Janssen.
I don't know, because he gives good effort when he plays, I can't lie. But if we haven't got Llorente for next season, then, and it doesn't look like we're going to sign another backup striker, then we do need someone. But if we're going to get Llorente back, if we're going to get another guy in, then get rid of Janssen. But I don't know, because he holds the ball up well, and his movement's actually not that bad. And when he plays for the Dutch team, and when he did play in the Dutch league, he does show good attacking instincts. So it'd be interesting to see, given more game time, what he can actually do, I think.
Yeah, I found the list here. So the next player is Cameron Carr. Oh, I didn't say. I'll keep Janssen because I don't think we will sign another backup striker, and I think Llorente has gone. So I'll definitely keep Janssen. I just think he needs a big confidence boost. He looks so unconfident when he's on the pitch. Next player is Cameron Carter-Vickers.
I've not seen all that much of him, I really can't lie, but I don't think, from the people that have watched him and have said stuff about him, he doesn't look like he's going to be the kind of quality that we're looking for. So if we can make a bit of cash off him, then just sell, I think.
Yeah, I would sell him. I saw him a few games last season when he was at Swansea, and he's like someone a bit like Dyer on the turn. He's so slow, like turning round for the ball. And he doesn't look great. He looks a bit defensively shaky. So that'd be someone I'd definitely sell. Fifth person on the list is Marcus Edwards.
By all accounts, he's kind of sorted out his attitude problems that he had, and he was performing really well last season on Excelsior. So I think keep him. He's got good potential, and yeah, just if he can become even half of what he was supposed to become with that kind of potential that he's shown, then I think that's a good player, and it's something different. It's someone who's going to be like a creative playmaker from the right hand side. It's something we haven't really got, so I'd be interested to see him, and yeah, I think we should keep him.
Yeah, I would keep Edwards as you like sort of mentioned, he's someone that can create something and he's something different to come off our bench. I can't lie, I haven't really seen him play. I saw him in that friendly. What was it, about 3 years ago? A pre-season friendly.
Yeah.
And he looked good then. And Poch called him like the young Messi or something. I can't remember. But yeah, Edwards is someone that I would keep. Possibly sort of someone like Carl Walker-Peters last season that can start in the games against teams like Huddersfield and those lower sort of teams down that side of the
And the cup
table.
games as well.
Yeah, of course. Someone, yeah. I think he needs a chance at Tottenham, and if he's not good enough, he can go in January or whatever next summer. I'll go two at once here: Aurier and Trippier.
Keep Aurier, sell Trippier. I mean, Aurier hasn't had the most game time, but he's become better. Like, he was quite reckless at first. He gave away a couple penalties, and he seems to have got a reputation as someone that just he's reckless from that. But he's not given one away all season, I don't think, except one in the Ivory Coast friendlies. But he is a Champions League caliber right back. When we signed him, we knew what we were getting in that. And if you look at Pochettino's track record of developing fullbacks, that's what he's good at. So I think keep Aurier for sure, but then Trippier has got to go after the season he's had last season, and he's just not good enough for us, really.
Yeah, for me, I would sell them both.
Really?
I think Aurier, on his day, he's quality. He's everything that we sort of need in that right back position since Kyle Walker went. Obviously, he's got pace. He's good defensively when he's like got his head screwed on, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like he's not flying into tackles constantly, and going forward he's very good. But I think his day is like one every 10 games, and that's just my personal opinion. I think he gives away too many fouls. Whereas you could get. My favourite right back of the club is Carl Walker-Peters. I think he's out of those three the most consistent when he plays. Trippier, as we mentioned before, he's just not good enough really. So yeah, that'd be definitely someone I'd be selling. The final player, Josh Onomah.
He's not really broken through. He's not had like great loan spells at Villa or Sheffield Wednesday, so I don't think he's someone that can crack it at Spurs, to be honest. So I think we should sell him.
Yeah, I think we should sell him. I don't think he's done much on any of his loan spells since he's gone away to the Championship for the past few seasons. I think he's 22 now, so he can definitely improve, but I don't think he's someone that will ever be Spurs quality. So I would sell Josh Onomah.
The only thing that makes me kind of hesitant on that is a couple of years ago, Dembele was full of praise for him and saying he's exactly the kind of player we need. So if there's anyone you're going to trust on who's a great midfield player, then it's someone who is one himself. So that's the only thing that makes me kind of hesitant, but I still think he would have shown more than just flashes by now if he was going to be that quality.
Yeah. I've never seen that quote from Dembele, but there must be some talent there if Dembele said that about him. But obviously he just can't show it on a consistent level. Yeah, but yeah, thank you for joining me today. Let me know some questions in the comments or tweet me some questions for my next one. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you.